Yo, what's up, Draft League fans? My name is IronBoffin, and we are here for the final week of SPL going up against Suave. So, very excited to play Suave here. Suave is a very good player, and there's a little bit riding on this game. So, let me explain to you the playoff situation. I am locked in for playoffs right now. No matter what, I am locked in. Suave is almost locked in as long... So, if I would have to 5-0 or 6-0 Suave to push him out of playoffs via differential, because there's currently two other coaches that are 3-3. Suave would be the third 3-3 coach, and he would be out by differential if I win by that much. So he's playing for a win. I'm playing for a win, of course, because I just want to win. But barring a 6-0 or like I think it's like a 4-0, if I 4-0 Suave or better, or I think if it's just like a 4-0, he falls to like number 4 in the playoffs. So then we don't play next week. So basically, it's very likely that I play Suave this week and then in the first week of playoffs. So this is going to get a little freaky deaky. But let's go over Suave's team here. I'm feeling pretty good. We got Manaphy with Regenerator and Motor Drive. Obviously, very good abilities. Probably it was like, Regenerator for like Swampert. I've seen them use some bulky builds with like screens and other things like that. So Manaphy's pretty scary. Iron Boulder with Sharpness is so crazy strong. The thing is so crazy strong. I don't exactly know how we're going to deal with that, and hopefully this thing doesn't get a Swords Dance because that will be very bad. So we're going to see a couple of game plans around that. We have Iron Treads with Levitate and Water Absorb. If he wants this thing to beat Zapdos, he can go Water Absorb because he'll be immune to Thunder, resist Hurricane, and be immune to Primordial Sea Weather Ball. If he wants this thing to check Garchomp, he has to use Levitate. And I am expecting him to go more towards the Levitate Iron Treads route because if he like Water Absorb, I could run like No Guard Heat Wave, for example, and just knock Treads out. So I'm expecting Levitate. Ogerpon Hearthflame, very scary Mon. This Mon is so scary with Desolate Land. I have to bring, I'll show you what I'm bringing. I have to bring my Primordial Sea Zapdos because otherwise I have no switch-ins to Ogerpon. I'm terrified of this Mon. Next up, we have our Chaladon with Primordial Sea and Swift Swim. I would expect more so, I would expect the Primordial Sea this week because it does give him like an Entei check. He can switch this thing into Entei, and Entei can't really do a ton. I do have Stomping Tantrum, but it's not doing a ton to this thing. And Swift Swim is good, but I don't expect him to run Swift Swim because I have a good Desolate Lander. I have a good Primordial Seer. So I don't see him bringing, like, Drizzle Thundurus either. But yeah, so that's a good start for us. And then there's, like I said, there's Thundurus, Therian with Sheer Force Drizzle. Don't expect Drizzle. I would expect Sheer Force here. I don't see him going with a Swift Swim strat this week. Then he has Florges, Skuntank, Girder, Arboliva, and Weirder. Arboliva, low-key, could come just to be like a Swampert answer. It's not a great Swampert answer because I can just like flip turn out. But with Hadron Engine, and this thing could hurt. I think it has like base 125 or 130 special attack. With Hadron Engine, this thing could hurt. But I would expect more like the top 6. I expect the top 6 to come just because like it looks simple enough. But that's Suave's team. Let's go over mine. I kind of talked about what I was afraid of there. Let's go over my team. First up, we're bringing Ogerpon, the friendly Ogerpon. We are going max speed, max attack because I need to speed tie with his Ogerpon. It could come down to a speed tie and whether my Ivy Cudgel hits. The good news is I'm looking better in the mirror match than he is because my Ivy Cudgel is super effective. His is neutral. So that's good. And we have the Trailblaze just in case I'm able to get that up. That way I can outspeed things like Iron Boulder. And we have the Play Rough just for some kind of coverage into our Chaladon so I can hit it neutral. Our Chaladon's a problem, so our Chaladon is a problem. But this thing's also a problem for him because he does not have a lot of switch-ins to Ivy Cudgel except for Iron Treads is a good switch-in. So I expect that to kind of be like a physical check to things. But if he's too physical, then he's not fast enough for Garchomp, so it could be a little freaky deaky. So I do like the Ogerpon here. Next up, we're bringing God of the Garchomp with Loaded Dice, Scale Shot, Earthquake, Brick Break, and Swords Dance. We are max speed, max attack. The speed tiers, here, I'll show you guys real quick. The speed tiers for Suave and I are actually really funny. Because we both have base 100 Mons. He has a 101, I have a 102. He has a 106, I have a 108. We both have 110s. So we're very much locked into like max speed things, which is pretty funny. But yeah, Scale Shot will give me +1 speed and hit through Sash. So the good news is I think if like 5 hits does Oko even like Iron Boulder, for example, with the Loaded Dice. And then we have Earthquake and things like that. So obviously if I want to get to +1 speed, and we have the Earthquake and Brick Break because we have Brick Break for 1, because I've seen him run bulky Manaphy with screens, and 2, because if he runs Levitate treads, I need to be able to hit it. And Brick Break is doing like 50% at least. So that's pretty good. And then we have the Sword Dance in case there's like a turn I can set up. I don't know where I'm going to get that turn, but we can dream. Maybe he specs into Electro Shot with, what's his face? Archaludon. I don't know. We're going to try. So Garchomp is looking pretty good here. Next up, we're bringing Suave to Swampert, and he's not max defense. This time he is, he's actually split even on defense and special defense because I need him to take hits from the Boulder and the Treads. He needs to take hits from Boulder, Tread, Archaludon. He's working a lot this week. He's working a lot. With the Flip Turn, Knockoff, Earthquake, Liquidation. Obviously, all that stuff is very basic. We have Flip Turn to get in and out of things. Earthquake's doing a little bit of chip, so that's pretty good. Next up, we're bringing Zapdos. So I'm bringing Heavy Duty Primordial Sea Zapdos here. Basically as my dedicated Ogerpon Hearthflame, whatever. This is my check to that. The problem is Power Whip is still doing like 50% of this thing. So that's kind of crazy. That's why we have the Roost. The good news is obviously Primordial Sea will block out Ivy Cudgel. And that's why I had to bring it, because otherwise I have 0 Ivy Cudgel switch-ins on this team. So we're bringing this set. Like I said, I don't expect him to be Water Absorb Treads. So we do hit that super effective. Thunder hits everything else like really hard. I could get some paralysis and stuff like that. So this is a pretty cool mon. But it's literally just for Ogerpon. It's just for Ogerpon. Next up, let's talk about my Entei here. Heavy Duty Boots, Desolate Land, Entei with Sacred Fire, Trailblaze, Tantrum, and E-Speed. We're rocking Desolate Land here to potentially break up any Swift Storm strategies, even though I don't expect them, but it's still good to be able to break them up. Sacred Fire is doing a ton of damage to everything. The only problem here is that his Archaludon does have Primordial Sea, so I can't go for that. But somebody's going to do like 40% if I need a little chippies. Trailblaze in case he goes into Manaphy. So the other thing of this job is to block Manaphy. With Desolate Land, Manaphy cannot touch me. Manaphy cannot do anything to me, so that's really good news, because Manaphy can set up a Tail Glow and be really scary. But he can't against Entei, because it just can't do anything to me. And then my last mon, last but not least, we're rocking Choice Scarf, Magic Guard, Aura Sphere, Steel Beam, Volt Switch, and Stealth Rock. I would like to get Stealth Rocks here. Am I going to be able to get them? I don't know. We can dream. This thing is really good because Aura Sphere and Steel Beam are OHKOing a lot of things. Like Steel Beam is OHKOing the Iron Boulder. Aura Sphere is dropping like the treads with a little bit. Aura Sphere is doing a ton of damage to Archaludon. This is a really good set, so I'm really excited for Verso here. And this will kind of be always like the fastest mon, barring a Scarf Boulder. So I really like this mon here. I really like my team. I feel like we're going to do really well here. Let's get into the battle versus Suave and see if Suave is going to make playoffs or not, because we're already locked in. So let's see how this goes. Yo, what is up, everybody? It is week 6 of SPL here against Suave. I talked about it in the team builder, I'm sure, but this is week 6. We are locked in for playoffs. Suave is playing for his spot. Suave is doing fine here. I think I need to 6-0 Suave to for him to not make playoffs. So the funny thing about this game, though, is that we're basically locked in to play each other for the first round of playoffs, depending on how this game goes. Again, unless some crazy differential happens. But let's go ahead and get everything written down here. He does bring the Arboliva. I did not expect Arboliva to come. It does have the Hydrogen Engine and Stamina. Didn't expect to see that. I did expect to see Thundurus. We got Thundurus, Archaludon. Seeing the Thundurus makes me think he's going to go for like a Drizzle Swift Swim strat versus just Primordial Sea on Arch. We got Iron Treads, we got Manaphy, we got Arboliva, and we got Iron Boulder. Iron Boulder. Alright, so this is more or less close enough to what I expected. I'm going to go ahead. My original lead is my Choice Scarf COBALION here, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm very happy to not see the Ogerpon, but I did bring an entirely different Zapdos set specifically for the Ogerpon, so that feels kind of bad. But you know, that just happens sometimes. That just happens sometimes. That Manaphy is looking like it's gonna be like a defensive set. Not that I thought offensive Manaphy did too much to me, although I think Manaphy does get access to Energy Ball. So let's double check that. Because it could be like a Tail Glow set to kind of beat up on... Yeah, it does get Energy Ball. I was pretty sure. So that could just be like a set to deal with my Swampert. Good luck, have fun, Suave. I'm excited to play Suave. I've been enjoying their content a lot, so this is gonna be super fun. Super fun battle. Let's get it. Vodafone. Okay, so you're leading the Arbaliba. Okay, so are you Hydrogen Engine or are you Stamina? Are you Hydrogen Engine or are you Stamina? You're Hydrogen Engine. Okay. You're Hydrogen Engine Arbaliba. Now, I'm gonna be so for real. I don't know what this thing is doing with Hydrogen Engine. If he Earth Powers me, it's gonna hurt really bad. So part of me thinks I should just Volt Switch. That's probably the best play. I mean, Arbaliba is actually like a good answer to Swampert, right? So that just makes sense to have it. Let me go for... I don't think it's worth going for an Aura Sphere because I would die to an Earth Power, and this thing is really good for later. So let's go ahead and go for a Volt Switch. Oh, you switch out. Okay, that works. Are you going to go right into the Iron Treads? I almost went for Jalen Brunson. This is the Manaphy. Okay, so are you going to be Volt Absorb Manaphy? You're not Volt Absorb Manaphy, you're Regen. Regen Manaphy. Also, probably... let me just double check that calc. Because I was in Terrain and that did 0. So let's take a look at this calc here. Because that did nothing. Even with Terrain up. With Terrain... where's its electric terrain? Okay, yeah, no. So that's like it's like a defensive assault vest set. I think I could just go into ban Elichik here. I don't see any reason not to. I'll double check a calc here against this Manaphy because it's looking like a regular schmegular AV set. Thunder's doing an incredible amount of damage, so I think I just want to go for it. Because I don't have enough. No, you know what? This yeah, let's go Elichik. We know that it's not. Yeah, we know that it's not whatchamacallit. So we'll get our Primordial Sea activated. And I'll click Thunder, and then if you want to go into Treads, that's fine. If you want to go Treads, that's fine. I'm not going to try to predict that here. Not that I have okay, switch into Treads. Oh, you go for Ice Beam. Okay, so you're gonna take your big chip. And you're faster than me. So either you're max speed. You'd have to be max speed. Unless you're Scarf. Which is possible, but unlikely, because you didn't die to Thunder. So either max speed and want a speed tie. You did get a high roll on the Ice Beam. Do I want to risk anything crazy like that? No, I don't. Let's go into Entei here. Let's not risk anything crazy like that. Let's not. Let's just not. I mean, yeah, no, the AV checks out. Okay, you switch out. That makes sense. I really wish I got my first out there. Unanimous MVP. Okay, no, this is okay for me because this is okay for me. I'm okay with this. So we're gonna go into our Entei on our Chaladon. Desolate Land. So we did see this as a Swift Swim set because he didn't. No, we didn't see that it's Swift Swim because he wouldn't overwrite my rain anyway because it was already up. I do kind of like going for a Sacred Fire here. I do like going for a Sacred Fire. There's not a lot that is like excited about that. So I'll go for... Yeah, I just go for Sacred Fire. I'll just go for Sacred Fire. Nothing is exciting. Like Manaphy. Jalen Brunson comes back. We're going to get a little bit of intel on how much damage this does. Okay. Can I get a burn? Ooh, you get the burn. I'll take it. I'll take the burn. Okay, cool. And I am not max speed, so like, because I think that this is max speed, I know I don't outspeed. I do have the E speed, but I don't think you give this up. Do you give this up? Do you give this up? I can go for a Trailblaze here because that'll knock out, so I'll just do that. I didn't think you gave that up. Unanimous MVP comes back. Okay, so you're gonna have. Okay, so you're Primordial Sea. Okay, Primordial Sea. That's good to know. That's good to know. And we'll get item. Are you lefties? Lefties. Okay. Good to know you're not specs. Good to know you're not specs. Okay, so then my safe switching is into Swampy here. So we'll do that. We'll do my safe play. The good news is Manaphy is low. So it's tough for Manaphy to do what it wants to do here. Could go for a Stomping Tantrum and get like 50% on this thing later. But the fact that he's not specs is really good for me. Okay, goes for Iron Defense. Okay. That's really good. Body Press is going to hurt really bad. What's my answer to that? That's actually horrendous for me. Wow, that's so good. Don't want to knock off his lefties here. I kind of need to get out. I think I just slow turn into... How much is my Archelodon doing? Or my Cobalion? To Archelodon, Iron Defense. So probably like a bulky build. Even if he's like max defense, or his fear is doing a lot. But then he would kill me back, so that's also not good. Let's go for... Do I take 1+2? I don't think so. He's +2 defense. I take 1. I'll go for the Earthquake here. Okay, he switches out. Okay, no, that works for me. That's fine. I wanted a little bit of chippy chips, but that's fine. You might not make it out of this. Oh my god. Did he die to the burn? Swampert picks up a kill. Let's go, Swampy. That burn does matter, so Swampy KOs Manaphy on... Or no, so I guess the burn does. So Entei kills Manaphy with burn. Okay. Arbeliva comes back. What is this Arbeliva set, dude? What? I'm, like, scared of it. I don't know what it's doing. Which is why I'm scared of it. This thing is so slow. Is there any chance he's faster than me? There is a chance he could speed creep Swampert because I have no speed. So I'm definitely not just going to let him whack me. Certainly not. Certainly not. Do I just go into... You could go for Earth Power, but... Zapdos is kind of low. Now that Manaphy's gone, I don't really need Entei, so let's go Entei here. Now that Manaphy is gone, my Entei's job is done. So we'll go Entei. I am nervous that he sped crap Swampert here, expecting like a fully defensive build. He could go for Earth Power. Okay, what's for these ones? Okay, so let's see. Whoa! Whoa! Hold on. What was that? Oh my god, is that like Specs Hadron Engine? How many Swamperts would that have killed? Specs Hadron Engine. That's Specs Hadron Engine. That's crazy. That's crazy. So I kind of want to go crazy and make a crazy play here and just go for a Stomping Tantrum. If I end up being wrong, I think you save this for the Swampert because I don't think you let this die. I'm gonna go crazy and make a play here for the Archelodon switching. Oh, they stay in. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Good read. Good read. That's so crazy. Okay, so you're Specs. You have to be Specs. Specs Leaf Storm. Insane. Insane. That's so funny. Does Garchomp come in here and set up, though? Or I believe Specs. Scale Shot's doing 76 to 91 to a non-bulky build. And he's -4. And he doesn't have an immunity to Gara, so I think Gara just comes in. Yeah. Nope, that's what I'll do. Being -4 or whatever. And nothing comes in here. Could Swords Dance. I don't want a Swords Dance because the thing is likely to come in here. We will get to see what kind of set his Treads is. His Treads is probably Levitate. So we'll get to see a little bit of information there. Okay, saves this. If he goes Treads, I have to assume he's Levitate. Is this Treads or both? Okay, this is Treads. I have to assume you're Levitate. The question is, Brick Break gonna kill him? Brick Break has a chance to kill. No, I lied. I'd be very generous if I killed from there. So let's go out in a Swampy here. It's not worth... he has to be Levitate, right? He has to be Levitate. Let's go out in a Swampert. Let's go out in a Swampert. We got Chip, though, so the next time we do this exchange, we'll kill with Brick Break. Goes for Ice Spinner. Okay, so we know he has Ice Spinner. Does 0 to me. Not surprising. Ice Spinner. Okay. And then I think we can actually go for a pretty comfortable knockoff here. Do I want to knock off or do I want his flip turn? What's the switch in? Is Arbeliva the switch in? I feel like Arbeliva is the switch in, so I could just knock off and get rid of the specs, which would be good. But let's just flip turn. We'll see if you're water absorb here. But you got to be Levitate. Levitate is what we thought in prep because Levitate is actually like a good answer to Chomp versus water absorb being a bad answer to Zapdos. So we'll go for the flip turn here. Okay, you switch. You switch. I switch, but I'm not switching. Vodafone. Yeah, let's get... so I could go into Zapdos here and just throw off a Hurricane. That's good chippies. I'm in this... Oh, that was a crit! That definitely matters. I still think now I'm back in the same situation with Garchomp. There's no way you outspeed Garchomp. I don't even think a Scarf Arbeliva would outspeed me. And Scarf Arbeliva would be insane. So, yeah, Scarf doesn't even outspeed me. And Scale Shot knocks out. So we'll go back into Garchomp and we'll do the same exchange again. Because this time I'll knock out with... whatchamacallit. So a Scale Shot. Because we have Brick Break this time. Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum. And Gara looks insane here. Gara looks insane. Okay, so Scale Shot, this should knock out. Yeah, four knocks out. This is why we went loaded dice. This is why we went loaded dice. Garchomp. KOs. Arbeliva. Cool. I can't believe Arbeliva killed Entei. KOs Entei. Okay, Gara looks great here. Who do you bring into this? Not a lot. Zunisha comes back. Okay. So because now I don't get the roll that I wanted, right? Now because you didn't switch into this thing, I think I just do the same thing again and go Swampert, which is really boring, I know, and I could get punished for that. Well, actually, Arbeliva and Manaphy are gone. So all the big punishes to Swampert are gone, except the Thundurus with whatchamacallit. I don't want to go for the Brick Break here. Garchomp's too good. Garchomp can still knock out our Chaladon. Let's just go. Let's just do the easy play. Let's just do the easy play. Make him do something. I don't like the roll on that. The roll's too close, especially if he's like defensive. If he's not offensive, I don't even... There is no roll. Okay, he was probably spinner again. Second verse, same as the first. Thought about it. I did think about it, so I'm glad I didn't, though. So what do we got on the team? We got Thundurus, Archaladon, Treads, and Boulder. I just flip turn here. I just flip turn. I take another hit, no problem. Go BOFFIN on advanced GG, by the way. Get your peach rings. Okay. I don't think this thing gets any coverage from me. He could just go for a big move. Nope. Okay, he switches out. That's the name of the game. We haven't learned anything about this Treads. Game 6 Clay. Game 6 Clay comes in. Good damage. Okay, so this thing could be Scarf, so Garchomp is not safe to just walk into this thing. I think Ogerpon is somewhat safe here. Ogerpon feels okay here. I don't think there's anything... No, because you get Sludge Wave, so you could hurt me pretty bad. Let's do this. I don't need Zapdos at all anymore. Let's go Verso. Let's go Verso and Volt Switch. This thing doesn't actually have Voltage Wave. So this thing also didn't have Drizzle, so we know this is Sheer Force. We know it's Sheer Force. Sheer Force. We don't know if it's Scarf or not. And if I am Scarf, so I'll probably, you know, I'll go first here. So I'll go for my Volt Switch. Okay, we get a little chippies. I do want to take a second to calc if I would kill... because he could just go for a Volt Switch too. I don't think he would go for a Grass Knot, which would be very interesting if I went into Swampy here. But that's too risky when he's got a lot of mons that hurt me really bad. Thundurus, Therian. We don't know what it's going to do. Steel Beam does 35 to 42, so it's too little for now. Let's go Elichick here. We don't need Zapdos again in this game. Do not need Zapdos this game. Let's see what you do. So you go for Thunder. Okay, you knock me out. That's not smart. So you KO. We didn't see Life Orb or anything. I do want to see if he's Scarf, man. If I go Swampy and then just hard pivot into like Ogerpon, I think that covers if he's like a Scarf set or something. Or I could just be like easy peasy about it and go Verso again and Volt Switch. I'll go Verso here. I'll go Verso. Verso is really good for the rest of the game, so I don't want to throw him away because actually I need this thing. Man, Steel Beam would be close to knocking out. 35 to 42. But if he's like AV or something, I definitely don't knock out. So let's, if I get rid of his, Sheer Force. 31 to 36. I don't know, did I do that much? We'll Volt Switch again. Okay, we whittled this thing down to red. I think I just let Ogerpon in here. We don't really need Ogerpon either. Could let Garchomp in. He's not going to do anything to Garchomp. Let's go Garchomp. Let's go Chomp. We block a Volt Switch. Grass Knot doesn't matter. Let's go Chompy. Oh, he's not Scarf. He's focused. Oh, that hurt. Okay. I see you. You are seen. You are seen. Let's Scale Shot here. So we know we're faster because I'm max speed Gara. Our speed tiers were actually hilarious in the way they were stacking. Like Garchomp 102, Thundurus 101, and then we had like 3 mons at 100. So Garchomp KOs Thundy with... Okay. And do I get my speed boost here? Yeah. Cool. So we get our speed boost. Unfortunately for me, he still has not switched in his treads. So he still has not switched in his treads into me. So I think I have to give up my Chomp here because I don't want to switch into anything else. So I'll get my Brick Break here. I'll get my Brick Break. And okay, yeah, no, it wasn't. He's very he's defensive. Okay. And he EQs. So treads kills Chomp. The good news is I do think Verso can come in here and just actually I can go into Friend and Trailblaze. But the thing with friend is I don't get to... Let's not do friend, because if I go into friend... Do I have chip into the Archaludon? I think I have a little bit, because I do... Let's go Verso here. I think we go Verso and we throw off Aura Spheres, because we definitely kill this with Aura Sphere. You can't switch into it. Verso... Aura Sphere. We just Aura Sphere. You can't switch in. Cobalion's gonna take you. Cobalion takes KO's Treads. I missed one of his knockouts. I forgot who it was. Somebody died and I didn't write it down. Let's see how much. If I got Chip on our Archaludon, we're good. And then Boulder is scary. If he goes in the Boulder... Let's see what happens here. Boulder, I would be afraid of being like Sash. Boulder, I'm afraid of. Boulder is scary. We haven't seen our Archaludon click a move. What is Cobalion versus Iron Boulder? Yep, Sam Zulik. Okay, so he could close combat me. I need to get out. The problem, I get myself in a lot of trouble if you agility here. But I will go Swampy. Do I sack off Friend here? Do I sack off Friend to a potential... I don't like this position. I'm scared of this thing. I'm very scared of this thing. But I can go for Steel Beam on it later. I don't need Ogerpon for the rest of this. I don't need Ogerpon. So I will sack Ogerpon here, because if I take a close combat with Swampy, that's going to hurt really bad. So let's switch out. I don't want to Aura Sphere this. Aura Sphere is not going to do enough, because it's obviously part Psychic type. Are you going to close combat, or do you Swords Dance? Oh. That's what I was afraid of. That's very bad for me. That's very bad. That's so bad. Okay. That's so bad. Let's see if Swampert lives 1 plus 2 attack. Swampert, do you live 1 plus 1 attack? Because I want to try to break Sash here is the problem. That's what I was afraid of. +2, and he is, call him Sharpness. Oh, that's not. Mighty deleted. Okay, so Boulder, KOs, Ogre. Okay, so Swampert, do you live a +2 attack? Swampert, in theory, lives a +2 attack. So we're going to go Swampert, and we're going to try to... Boy, in theory. You know, theory is a fun... Theory... Oh, with Sharpness, do I live that? Okay. In theory, based on the calculations, I live an attack. So I want to try to break Sash here is all I want. All I want is to win. I don't think you would one-shot me. So let's flip turn. I don't think you would. You know, it's possible. Do you have Trailblaze? Are you going to be +2 Trailblaze? That's possible. If that happens, it's GG. It's GG. I just don't think you would be Trailblaze. Because you have Swords Dance, you need Mighty Cleave. I think you need CC. You might not need CC. Mighty Cleave does a lot of work. Mighty Cleave, Earthquake. Let's see here. He's thinking about it. Doesn't want to give me his Sash. He knows he doesn't want to give me his Sash. He doesn't want to give me the Sash, which is very fair and valid. Completely understandable. This is a... Oh, stays in, goes for a cycle cut. We lived though! Oh, I lived a crit. Let's go. That's crazy. Okay, so we break a Sash there. And that should be enough to be game. Let me just double check that Verso does do enough with an Aura Sphere. Not doing as much as I would like. How much am I doing with, let me see how much I'm doing to our Chaladon with Steel Beam. Our Chaladon with Steel Beam. I should be able to two-shot it, I feel like. Ooh, it's gonna be close. We'll do the play anyway. Okay, let's Steel Beam. Steel Beam! COBALION! Okay. So COBALION KOs Boulder. Now we gotta figure out how we're gonna play this, depending if I had any chip on Unanimous MVP here. I had 0 chip on this thing. 0. Okay, so this is bad. This is bad. Does he Iron Defense here? Let's go Swampert. Let's go Swampert. This is not good. It's not over. Aura Sphere can do a lot to this thing. I just need a little bit of chip. I just need a little chip. Yep, he has Iron Defense here. I have to live a Body Press. And I don't think I do. I don't think I do. That +2. Let's double check. I don't think it matters either way. I think either way I have to do the same thing. But I think that's going to win. He's +2. +2, 206. In theory, I live. And I just need the little bit of Earthquake chip. So I go for Earthquake here. Oh, he's going for Iron Defense again. Okay. That makes sense. Now he definitely KOs me. Yeah, no, I think he wins this now. No, I think he wins. That's such a good set. I did not prep for that. Yeah, he KOs me, and I don't think I do enough with... Yeah, no, he gets this. He gets this. GG's, man. Good game. No, he comes... I think he... unless something crazy happens on the Aura Sphere. No, I don't think Aura Sphere can do enough to this thing. The second Iron Defense is really good. Not that I do anything around that either way. I don't think I try to like flip turn into... No, I don't think that works. Okay, so yeah, okay, yep, nope, good play there. So Arch kills Swampert. And he's back to like full. Fuck. Yeah, no, I think that's GG. I think that's GG. Yeah, that second Iron Defense, that was such a good play. That second Iron Defense was clutch. Yeah, I knew our Chaladon was definitely the scariest thing on this team for me to deal with. What Aura Sphere? Oh, I just needed a little chip on this thing, man. GG's, man. GG Suave. That was a really good game. I'm not sure, like, you know, it kind of just comes down to a funny end there against our Chaladon. That was such a good set to bring on our Chaladon. Being that Swampert is my answer to that thing, that's such a good set to bring. So GG's to Suave. That puts us at a final record of 4-2 on the season. We are locked into the number 2 spot for playoffs. We're either with a 1-0. I think we're number 2. Either way, Suave and I will be back for the first week of playoffs here. So that was a great game, and we'll see you again next week for playoffs. That's crazy. What a game. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Goodbye.